I wonder if you're a news junkie in something of the way that I am, frankly. It used to be that I would get into the office in the morning and take the first several minutes to catch up on the news. I would go to the website of this newspaper that I had tabbed. I may or may not find something relevant to what I was looking for that particular day. Then I would go to this newspaper and then this website and then that website. There is an easier way. The easier way is called Google News. To get to the Google News site, simply Google the words Google News. When you see the screen, you will see late-breaking stories in the middle, and you'll see a right-hand panel and a left-hand panel. The right-hand panel is the one that's the most important. You'll notice the box at the top that says Personalize. Click that box and you'll be able to do two things. Number one, you'll be able to personalize the topics of the stories that you receive at the Google News website every day. Let's suppose, for example, that you have particular interest in the 2016 American elections. There is a slot to click Elections. Suppose you're a sports junkie. You love it all: baseball, football, basketball, hockey. There's another tab to click that you can get just the sports news, or both, however you want to do it, or a little bit of everything. The next tab down is even more helpful. It lets you personalize the sources of the news that you want to receive. Let's suppose, for example, that you want to receive news only from the New York Times and the Washington Post and the Chicago Tribune. You would be able to click on those three, and those would be the only sources that you could get. Now, here's a strong word of concern, uh, and that is this. Most of us, if we're conservative, if we're liberal, if we're somewhere in between, like to read news that agrees with the opinion that we already hold. However, recently I was watching a piece on Google News, and the person who had filmed the piece made an excellent point. He said, when you listen to news that already agrees or read opinions that already agree with what you believe, you're simply in an echo chamber. You're hearing your own opinions parroted back to you. And so when you enter those news sources, be sure and enter some sources that might not necessarily agree with your particular opinions. Two things happen when you do that. Number one, your own opinions are sharpened as they're challenged. Number two, you may even begin to change your opinion because you see that the other side has valid points. So I encourage you in the strongest terms, as you set the media outlets that you want for your Google News, be sure and do so in a way that you don't simply filter in those with which you already agree. That's the right-hand panel on Google News. On the left-hand panel are some other helpful features that have mainly to do with the news of the day. There are trending topics. For example, in today's Google News, one of the trending topics was the city of Mosul in Iraq, because the Iraqi army is seeking to try to take back the city from ISIS. So I commend to you Google News. It is an efficient, a far more efficient way to to take in the news than the previous method I had been using of going to several different websites early in the morning. One needs to set this up and then simply go to one website, and there it is, all in one place. Immensely helpful, and I commend it to you. Thanks.